Swayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing now the 5th chapter of the Ashtavakra Gita, where after listening to Janaka Maharaj of that he has completely realized and he sees the world is only mithya, now we go into the Ashtavakra goes into addressing rest of us how we can realize what is required. So here the 4 stages of renunciation, and this was in fact one of the questions posed by the Janaka Maharaj, how I can renounce. So essentially the how I can get the jnanam, katham jnanam apnoti, and how I can get liberation, and the last one, third question is essentially how I can develop the vairagyam cha katham praptam, how I can get dispassion. So vairagyam is developing the dispassion, that means non-ownership. And here the dispassion is discussed from the point of from the self who is evolved. So I have to renounce it. What can I renounce? When I don't own anything, how can I renounce anything? So one has to be careful here. So here talking about even I have to renounce the renunciation that I need to renounce has to be renounced also, because only if it belongs to me then I can renounce. And that which doesn't belong to me, then how can I renounce? So when I came into this world as though the body, mind, intellect all are given for me to use it. So I didn't create the body. Someone has created the body and gave it to me as though for me to use it only. So you have to give up the body. I don't need to give up, because if it's only mine I had to give up. So it's the same way the whole world, everything has to be the concept that it is mine has to be given up. So it's a notion of ownership is the one that has to give up. So here the Ashtavakra starts with the highest attitude of the mind, or how to develop that attitude of the mind. So until the sadhana, until I reach that state, it is a sadhana. After I reach, it becomes my real nature. So I have to give up the notion of ownership. I have to give up the misunderstanding that this is mine, and starting from this body. So from this body to I am the body. So I am not the body. So this body is given for me to use it, and once it is gone, once it is useless, I have to give up automatically. There is no point in hanging on, that is useless. Just as the car is useful to go from one place to the other place for transaction purposes. But if the car becomes useless and current doesn't do, we get it off automatically without any worry, because I need a better car or a new car which I can use for my transportation. So same way, the body is only an equipment. So while living in the body, I can renounce that this is not really body, it is a tool. So concept of ownership has to be given while using it. It's only I am a trustee of this body and I have to take care of it since I am using it, just as I take care of the car, and if something wrong I have to take it to the garage to make sure they repair it properly. Same way I have to take it to the hospital or do something in order to repair the body. if they can repair. So if the psychological problem, then I have to go to proper doctor in order to remove that problem from the mind. Same way, any renunciation is only at that transaction level. So we are doing the sloka 1. Nate sangosti kenapi kim suddhastaktum ichasi sangata vilayam kurvan evameva layam braja. So evam eva layam braja. So you have to give up this evameva. So this indeed is layam braja. Enter into complete dissolution of this. So he is talking about dissolution of what? So laya is individual sleep. So when I go to sleep, what happens? What happens when I go to sleep? I give up everything automatically. That means I had to stop using the mind, I had to stop using the body, let the body rest on the bed, and slowly withdraw from my mental attachments, from everything. And even the dream is in that mental association, but even that is given up. So I had to give up the waking state and the dream state for me to go to the laya state or a deep sleep state. So in the deep sleep state, what happens? Because I don't know. Is the only thing right now in the laya is I don't know, because I have no knowledge of the subject-object duality. So what is there? I am there because I say I slept very well. What else is there? What else is there? I don't know is there. That means I have the ignorance of every subject-object, ignorance of the world, because I have no consciousness of the world itself. And for that, mind has to be there to perceive the world. Without the mind perceiving the world, the presence of the world is indeterminate. So we don't say world is not there or world is there also. Both are statements from the point of the mind which has slept, says there is no world or there is a world. It is indeterminate, because there is no concept of even the world for me to say there is world or not. So subject-object duality arises with the mind, and therefore ignorance of every subject-object. So I may be a chemistry professor in a waking state. When I go to deep sleep state, I am not a chemistry professor anymore, because the association the subject knower and the object chemistry is both are absent or folded, and it's not eliminated, but it's folded as the mind is folded. So he says, Nate sangostekenapi. So I have no contact with anything whatsoever. So contact is only when association with the mind. So mind has to perceive first to develop a contact. So without my mind present, I cannot perceive the world. So whatever I am contacting, for me to be conscious of what I am contacting, for that mind has to perceive it through the sense organs and see the world. Without me seeing the world, existence of the world becomes an indeterminate, because it may be there, it may not be there if I don't see it. So just as in the dark room, I don't see any object there, only because the senses cannot function, and therefore I cannot see. So the chair may be there or table may be there in the dark room, or may not be there. If you ask, is something there? Says, I don't know. So the question is for me to know, mind has to be there, and mind has to perceive. If it is a objective, grosser objects or sthula objects. If it is a subtle objects like thoughts, like chemistry knowledge or a physics knowledge and all that, so for that I need to have the mind and the memory bank that is associated with the chemistry or physics or biology or whatever science, which I stored, and I should be able to conscious of what I already know. So from that I say I know chemistry, I know physics, I know biology, and so on. These are at the subtle level, the subject-object reality. Intellectual level or emotional level, say, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is this one and that. So relationships and all that at the emotional level. All that is there, provided the mind has to be there. So here it says, Nati sangosti kenapi. So it says, you have no control with anything whatsoever. This is a teaching by the teacher telling you have no contact with anything. So to whom it is teaching? To the mind of the disciple. So mind here is awake. But when the awakened mind or mind which is available, so what is that? Says no sangosti, you have no attachment to it. Here sangha involves no contact or no attachment with any object. So mind perceives the object, but there is no notion of this is mine. So that this is mine has to be dropped, because that's not mine. So that understanding has to be developed at the mind level for me to give up any association with the objects. Because nobody wants anything, because I came into this world with nothing and I'm going to leave this world without taking anything, and there everybody is watching there to make sure I don't take anything with me, and therefore nothing really belongs to me. So this is a false ownership that we have, and the ownership is required in order to transact. So don't say that there is no relationship at all, because my bank balance is different from your bank balance. So there is a transactional utility is required or is there with the world. But I have to keep it at that level, but not the own as this is mine and that's not mine at an absolute level, because that which comes and goes cannot be mine. That is what the whole concept has to be developed. This is real vairagya. So here it says, Nati sangosti kenapi kim suddhaha chaktum ichasi. So what is that you can really give up here? Pure as you are, what is there for you to renounce? Sangata vilayam kurvan. So having closed the dissolution of the attachments to the body, mind, intellect and the world, or non-identification with the BMI, and kurvan eva layam braja. So doing that itself is a layam braja. So enter into the state of dissolution of all your ownership by recognizing that you have no contacts with anything. So here is a very an exercise that has been suggested to a mature sadhak. And how exactly is this done? And that's what we were discussing. So when the typical example we gave is Mr. Jones thought that he is a rat, and he was given series of education by the psychologist. Mr. Jones, you are not a rat, you are a man. You are not a rat, you are a man. So he thought, I am a rat, and he has to give up that notion of identity with a rat, because he is not. So it's a giving up something which is not there. And when he recognizes that I am a man and that's a rat, then Mr. Jones has given up the notion that I am a rat, we can say. I am so and so, I am a jiva, and I am owning this, I am owning this is mine, that is mine, that is mine. All biodata is involved, identification with I am this, and so on, including at the physical level, at the mental level, and at the intellectual level. All that biodata comes is nothing but this, and that is me. So identification with that is biodata. I may need it for transacting the world, but have a complete understanding it's not mine. Sanghata vilayam kurvan evam eva layam praja. This is called layam. Laya is a dissolution. So what we do, laya is deep sleep state also. So individual the sleep is called laya, and the sleep at the total level, Brahmaji sleeping, is called pralaya, prakashena laya. So when he goes to sleep and he folds the whole universe now. So that is the dissolution of the complete universe, and that happens when the Brahmaji goes. And again, he gets up in the morning and starts creating again. So that's what he does, his pralaya. But from our point, when I go to deep sleep state, what really happens? What really happens? I sleep well. So what does that mean? I have no contact with the world. In fact, there is no world. There is no time. There is no present, past, future. Nothing of no knowledge of anything. And that giving up is laya. So when I go to deep sleep state, I am giving up dissolution of everything as this is not me, this is not me, this is not me. I am withdrawing myself and recognizing that nothing really belongs to me. I am pure, the conscious entity that wants to sleep. So I may not have that concept when I am going to sleep, but that's exactly what I am doing. Giving up, giving up, giving up. And that dissolution is what I am doing when I go to deep sleep state. And here dissolution is with an understanding, well awake, I have to give up that notion because it doesn't belong to me. So recently I was reading some post by somebody on the Facebook about J. Krishnamurthy's series on terms of how to die peacefully. So essentially he talks about death. Of course, the way in his own style way. Do you know what is death? You have to think about it. So in order to know what is death, you have to die. So what happens when somebody dies? So what happens when somebody dies? He leaves the body. So it is not, the body is there and he left. That means that is clear indication that body is not there because he is able to give up completely in search of a new body. So body is not his. So if what is death, because after death I cannot do all that, while dying I cannot do that, but can I conceptually and cognitively die right now and right here? That's what is the understanding of death is. When I die, I give up everything. So you can conceptualize, see your death right now and right here as a part of exercise. So first thing in the morning as a part of meditation, see yourself, your own death, where you can see your body there, but you can see other people crying or doing something and all that. They are taking the body and they trying for cremation, but now you recognize you are not the body, but body is being discarded as a part of trash now, because nobody wants, say, bharya bibyati tasmin koye. So as long as I am breathing, everybody is asking how are you, how are you. Once the breathing stops, says even your beloved wife, he says, wants to get rid of that body as quickly as possible. In the States, the police will come to make sure that the body is immediately taken away to the funeral home, because you cannot keep the dead body inside the house. So here they will preserve, of course, those houses, funeral houses, they keep all the solutions and put the body there for other people to see and come have the darshan. But here the giving up the body is dying. When we die, imagine when you die, you are going to give up everything. Not a single thing you can take. So what you thought is yours is not going to be yours. All this money that you have saved is not yours. All your relationships is not yours. So kate kamsa kaste putra samsaroya majiva vichitra. So who is a wife, who is a child, who is all that, is all relationships gone. Because you are completely gone out of the body, so no other relationships with anybody. But can you die? Because every minute is dying. So it's a really a surprise if you really do it, because the time itself is a problem, because last minute is gone and we are living in the fresh new minute. And even the new minute is what? New minute is nothing but a junction between the past minute and the future minute. So that is the current minute. That is the present. That's where we are right now. Future minute hasn't come. Past minute has gone. So you can make it even smaller. Past second is gone. Future second hasn't come. And this second what I am living. So what is death? I die to the past, and future I am not born yet, and I am living right now, that in the present moment. So I am dying every minute to live fresh in the next minute that I am. So this is what the death essentially involves. But what happens when I die? In the real death, where I had to give up everything. So all attachments I have to give up. Bank balance I have to give. Whatever I own has to give up. So nothing really belongs to me. If I have that complete understanding right now while living, that nothing really belongs to me, including your own relationships of everybody. You have to live everybody. So the very recognition and realization as nothing is really belongs to you, and that is dying, or that is sleeping in the present while awake. So I can die, I can go to sleep with respect to all my past, because sleep is where I have no remembrance of anything. In the same way, I can cognitively die in the very moment by discarding my attachments to the past. And that is essentially the living and experiencing the death every minute of it. So that's what essentially you want to understand. When you understand the death, then you live to understand the death. Means you are living real living, because you can't really live in the present. Most of us live in the past or in the future, because the present is a junction between the past and the future. So everyone tries to live either in the past, which is gone, dead and gone, and in the future, which hasn't come, because the mind always thinking what happened in the past and what are all things that you should have done, could have done, would have done, all those things that he didn't do, and regrets of that past. Or expectations about the future. I wish I will get first class. I wish I will get this. I hope I will get this. Or hoping about future accomplishments, future, and dreaming about something that will happen in the future, in the present. Future hasn't come yet, but I am sitting and dreaming about what's going to happen. I am this, I am that. All that is essentially is only projection of my mind to the future, or projection of the mind in the dead past. That's what most of us live. So here the death is recognition that right now is the present, is the only moment that I have, that I can live, I can act, I can know, and I can only live in the present. Past is gone, future hasn't come yet. So the very living on the sharp awareness of the presence is what it is, the living in the present, or living now. So you can go to Google and ask how to live now. There are a lot of talks on it, but how to live now is discarding the past and not expectations of the future, but acting in the present, be aware of the present. That exactly is living in the present. And how do I give up the past? Since the giving up the past is giving up my attachment to the past. So what is attachment? I and I want. That's how we define an attachment. I and I want. So whatever I wanted in the past and gone, this is mine. So attachment comes in terms of the mamakara. Mamakara means this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, don't touch it, don't use it, this is my wealth, this is my income, this is my property. All this mine is attachment of that. Property is there that has to be used. The wealth is there that has to be used properly. And as a trustee, you are provided an operating budget for you to transact in the world. And you can improve the budget by proper acting and make it, or if you invest in a wrong investment, that also is gone. But you have to live with that. So you can intelligently live without owning as at the mental level, without having an attachment to that. That is what attachment means. What if it is there, I have to use it as best as I can. That is what correct living. And attachment is where if I lose it, I'll cry. So if I lose it, it is gone. There's nothing much I can do about it. So this is what the whole Gita starts, where Arjuna doesn't want the death to see the death of the Bhishma or Dronacharya, his grandsire or his teacher, because he thinks the body is them. So once I understand it's not the body and the soul never dies, to give up, otherwise you cannot go to sleep. So how do I get to sleep? I'm having a problem in sleeping. People take drugs. What does the drug will do? Drug will make the mind dull so that it gets detached from all the attachments, so that you go to sleep. That's what sleep. Because somebody takes out what I am attached to, I get angry. That is kama yesha, krodha yesha. So this is kama and krodha becomes rajoguna samudbhava, born of rajoguna. So only way to counter that is by proper understanding. So here, nati sangostikenapi, I have no contact with anything at all. With at all, contact means no attachment to anything that I have in the world. So that non-attachment has to be developed. How do I develop? Recognize that they are temporary and coming and going. Things that come and go, there is no point in holding on to them. So the whole world keeps coming. The wealth comes and that goes also. And you are going to go anyway, be leaving all the wealth. So right now you can leave it as though only use it when you need it. That's how one has to develop and live every minute with that. So as an exercise, so because it's a wonder, because this minute is what we are living. Yesterday is gone, and you can keep recapitulating what happened yesterday, but it's all gone. So if you pay attention only what is needed for actions in the present, then use those but without putting a stamp of this is mine. So this is mine has to be given up, and by developing I am a trustee of that, this has to be used. Lord has provided this opportunity to use, and I have to use it and go. At the physical level, and next at the mental level, and most difficulties at the intellectual level. Even we have say, this is my talk, and this is my Vedanta, or this is the one I wrote, this is the one I am the author of. All these notions are all has to be given up, because once we die, who remembers all that? Oh, he did something, that's all. So if at all you have to do anything marked that is helpful to the universe, and to whatever you can do contributing to the upliftment of the society, then that is the right living. And here the concept is very simple in statement, but exercise is most difficult because we have to go into laya. That means he says, Evameva layam praja, where even all my attachments have to be given up, and that is the real dissolution. And because of attachments is wrong relationship with the world. That's what is attachment, where I depend on something other than myself. Here a simple example is given where mother is so attached to the baby. But even though mother is so attached to the baby, when she goes to deep sleep state, when she sleeps, baby goes to sleep, and the mother also wants to take a rest, and she goes to deep sleep state. What happens in deep sleep state? She gave up the attachment, because that's only an attachment at the external level. Internally, you are free from that. So she, in the deep sleep state, she is neither a mother, nor wife, nor any relationship the world. She is all by herself. That is what we call a laya. So laya is where I give up the world. Devastated. That is what has to be controlled. Because these are very subtle exercises at the mental level, and Ashtavakra, this particular chapter, is exercise for the sadhak like us to how to get detachment. And that's what one of the questions that posed by Janaka Maharaj. And he gave directly because Janaka Maharaj already detached. So he didn't address Janaka Maharaj. Now he is addressing all of us. So how to give up, how to develop that dispassion. So we'll go into more details as we come back. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi